Welcome to FlyEaglesFly News, where Eagles fans get the latest, fastest, and hottest updates. Hit subscribe and fly high with us. The buzz around Philadelphia has been growing louder by the hour, and when you really listen to the tone coming out of the building, it feels like the Eagles may have accidentally let something big slip. There is a growing belief among insiders, analysts, and even fans who read between the lines that the coaching staff already knows exactly who will line up as the starting cornerback opposite QUINYON Mitchell. Nothing has been officially announced. Nothing has been stamped with certainty, but the way certain comments are phrased, the way practice rotations are quietly described, and the way confidence is projected tells a story all by itself. In Philadelphia, stories rarely stay hidden for long, and this one feels like it is bubbling just under the surface. The name that keeps surfacing again and again is Cooper DeJean, not as a long-term project, not as a rotational piece, but as a true starter trusted to handle pressure immediately. The idea alone is enough to ignite debates across the fanbase because it signals boldness, confidence, and a clear philosophical direction. The Eagles appear ready to lean into youth, speed, and versatility in the secondary. And that choice says a lot about how they view the modern game and their own championship window. When you break down what makes this potential pairing so fascinating, it starts with QUINYON Mitchell himself. Mitchell arrives with the aura of a player who does not look like a rookie once the helmet goes on. His college tape tells a story of discipline, patience, and explosiveness, traits that translate beautifully to the professional level. The Eagles clearly believe he can handle the responsibilities of a top corner, and that belief reshapes the entire defensive structure. When a coaching staff trusts one side of the field, it frees them to be more aggressive everywhere else. That is where the speculation around Cooper DeJean becomes so compelling. DeJean is not just another defensive back fighting for snaps. He is viewed internally as someone who understands leverage, spacing, and anticipation at an elite level. Pairing him with Mitchell would give Philadelphia two corners who think the game before the snap, not just react after it. That kind of mental processing is what defensive coordinators dream about, especially in a league dominated by complex passing concepts and pre-snap motion designed to create confusion. The whispers coming out of camp environments and closed practices paint a picture that feels intentional rather than experimental. DeJean has reportedly been placed in situations that mirror starting responsibilities, seeing high-level competition, taking reps that matter, and being trusted with assignments that are not typically handed to developmental players. This does not happen by accident. Coaching staffs are meticulous in how they evaluate, and when they begin testing a player in high-leverage scenarios, it often signals that they are envisioning something bigger. The Eagles have always valued defensive backs who can do more than one thing, and DeJean fits that mold perfectly. He brings positional flexibility, football intelligence, and a calm demeanor that resonates with veteran teammates. When coaches speak about him, the praise often focuses on trust, communication, and reliability rather than raw athletic traits alone. Those are the exact qualities that earn starting roles faster than many expect. There is also a broader strategic layer to this rumor that cannot be ignored. Philadelphia has been reshaping its defensive identity, quietly moving toward a secondary that can disguise coverage and switch responsibilities without tipping its hand. A Mitchell and DeJean duo would allow the Eagles to show one look before the snap and morph into another once the ball is in the air. That kind of deception is invaluable against elite quarterbacks who feast on predictable defenses. Mitchell's physicality and speed allow him to challenge receivers at the line, while DeJean's instincts and vision make him dangerous in zone concepts and off coverage. Together, they would give opposing offenses conflicting pictures, forcing hesitation and mistakes. Even the mere belief that this pairing is coming could influence how teams prepare for Philadelphia, planting seeds of doubt before games even begin. What makes this rumor feel especially believable is how aligned it is with the Eagles' organizational DNA. This franchise has never been afraid to trust young talent when it believes the ceiling is high enough. From the front office to the coaching staff, there is a shared confidence in their evaluation process. When they draft players like Mitchell and DeJean, they are not thinking years down the road, they are thinking impact now. That mentality has shaped some of their most successful seasons. Veterans may still play crucial roles, but the heartbeat of the defense often comes from players hungry to prove themselves. If DeJean truly is the choice to start alongside Mitchell, it would represent another example of Philadelphia doubling down on conviction rather than caution. As this speculation continues to grow, the excitement around the secondary is becoming impossible to contain. Fans are imagining scenarios, analysts are debating matchups, and every subtle comment from the coaching staff is being dissected for hidden meaning. Nothing has been confirmed, yet everything feels aligned. The Eagles may not have intended to reveal their plan, but the signs are there for those paying attention. A starting duo of QUINYON Mitchell and Cooper DeJean would symbolize trust, ambition, and a belief that intelligence and adaptability can outweigh experience. In a league where offenses evolve constantly, defenses must be brave enough to evolve too. Philadelphia appears ready to make that leap, and if this rumor becomes reality, it could redefine how this defense is viewed across the league. The second part of this story dives even deeper into why this potential decision feels like more than just a lineup choice, but rather a statement. By leaning toward Cooper DeJean as a starter, the Eagles would be signaling that versatility is no longer a luxury but a necessity. DeJean's background shows a player comfortable reading the quarterback, understanding route concepts, and reacting with purpose rather than panic. That skill set complements QUINYON Mitchell's aggressive, confident style in a way that feels almost designed in a lab. One presses and disrupts timing. The other reads and closes space. It is a balance that can frustrate even the most polished passing attacks. The Eagles' defense, which has faced criticism in recent seasons for inconsistency on the back end, suddenly looks like it could regain its swagger through youth and intelligence rather than pure star power. Another layer fueling this rumor is how smoothly DeJean appears to communicate within the defense. Communication is often the hidden separator between good secondaries and great ones. Missed assignments rarely come from lack of talent, but from lack of clarity. If the Eagles believe DeJean can serve as a calming, organizing presence on the field, it explains why his name keeps surfacing in these conversations. When paired with Mitchell, who brings confidence and physical presence, the secondary gains both leadership and energy. This balance is critical, especially late in games when fatigue sets in and mental errors become more likely. The coaching staff values players who elevate those around them, and all signs suggest DeJean fits that description internally. There is also an emotional element to this speculation that resonates with the fan base. Eagles fans embrace players who play with intelligence, toughness, and fearlessness. DeJean's reputation aligns perfectly with that identity. Starting him alongside Mitchell would instantly create a narrative of two young defenders growing together, learning together, and forming a partnership that could last for years. That kind of storyline matters in a city like Philadelphia, where connection between team and fans runs deep. It is not just about stopping passes, but about embodying a mentality. Mitchell and DeJean together represent hunger, preparation, and a refusal to be intimidated by big moments. From a tactical standpoint, this pairing opens creative doors for the defensive coordinator. With trust in both corners, pressure packages become more flexible, safeties can rotate late, linebackers can blitz without fear, and the entire defense becomes more unpredictable. That unpredictability is what disrupts elite offenses. If opponents believe the Eagles' corners can hold their own in man coverage, it forces quicker throws and riskier decisions. Even if this rumor is only partially true, the fact that it feels plausible says a lot about how highly DeJean is viewed behind the scenes. Teams do not casually float the idea of starting a young corner unless they see something special. The league itself would take notice if this becomes reality. Opposing quarterbacks study tendencies relentlessly, and a new cornerback duo means a new set of challenges. Mitchell's background shows a player who thrives when tested, while DeJean's football intelligence suggests he adapts quickly. Together, they could shorten the learning curve that often plagues young secondaries. The Eagles may believe that growing pains will be minimal compared to the long-term payoff. That kind of confidence does not come from hope, but from countless hours of film study and evaluation. As the speculation continues, one thing feels clear: the Eagles are comfortable letting this rumor breathe, almost as if they want the conversation to exist. Sometimes silence speaks louder than announcements. By not shutting down the idea of Cooper DeJean starting alongside QUINYON Mitchell, the team allows anticipation to build and expectations to rise. Whether intentional or not, the message is powerful. Philadelphia is ready to trust its young corners and embrace a future built on intelligence, versatility, and bold decisions. If this pairing truly takes the field together, it will not just be a lineup change, but a defining moment for the identity of the defense. In the end, rumors like this thrive because they feel logical, exciting, And aligned with everything we know about the organization's philosophy, the Eagles have always believed in preparing players for big roles early. And the signs suggest Cooper DeJean may already be viewed as that guy, alongside QUINYON Mitchell. He could form one of the most intriguing young cornerback duos in the league. Until confirmation comes, speculation will continue to swirl. But sometimes the truth hides in plain sight, and right now, all signs point to Philadelphia quietly revealing exactly who they trust. When the spotlight is brightest, the conversation around this potential decision keeps evolving because it taps into something deeper than a simple depth chart adjustment. It reflects a philosophical crossroads for the Eagles' defense, one where trust in preparation outweighs fear of inexperience. When insiders hint that Cooper DeJean is being viewed as more than just a complementary piece, it suggests the coaching staff sees a player who processes the game at a speed that matches the professional level. That is often the final hurdle for young defensive backs. And if DeJean has cleared it internally, everything else falls into place. The pairing with QUINYON Mitchell then feels less like a gamble and more like a calculated alignment of strengths. One brings physical presence and confidence. The other brings anticipation and calm decision-making. Together, they represent a secondary that can survive mistakes early because the mental foundation is strong enough to self-correct as games unfold. FlyEaglesFly News family, smash subscribe and hit like. Your support keeps the freshest Philadelphia Eagles updates flying in. Drop your take in the comments and let's talk birds. Another reason this rumor refuses to die is the way Philadelphia has structured competition within the roster. The Eagles rarely hand out roles based on draft status or reputation alone. They create environments where players earn trust through repetition, communication, and consistency. If DeJean continues to be mentioned as the likely starter, it implies he has quietly won those internal battles. That matters because it changes how veterans view him in the huddle. When teammates sense that a player has the full confidence of the coaching staff, respect follows naturally. That respect translates into cleaner coverage, better switches, and fewer breakdowns. In a defense that thrives on cohesion, one weak link can unravel everything. The idea that DeJean might already be trusted to avoid being that weak link explains why this speculation feels grounded rather than reckless. There is also a psychological chess match at play when teams allow these rumors to circulate. Opponents begin preparing for a version of the Eagles' defense that might not even fully exist yet, forcing them to waste valuable time on contingencies. If offensive coordinators believe Mitchell and DeJean will start together, they must account for a cornerback duo capable of disguising intent and baiting throws. Even if rotations shift later, the preparation burden remains. Philadelphia has long understood that information itself can be a weapon. Letting speculation breathe without confirmation keeps everyone guessing. It creates uncertainty, and uncertainty is the enemy of offensive rhythm. In that sense, the rumor itself becomes part of the defensive strategy. Ultimately, what makes this storyline resonate is how naturally it fits into the broader narrative of the Eagles embracing evolution. The league is faster, smarter, and more demanding than ever, and defenses that cling to familiarity often fall behind. By potentially pairing QUINYON Mitchell with Cooper DeJean, Philadelphia would be signaling that adaptability and intelligence are the new cornerstones of their identity. This is not just about who starts, but about what the Eagles want to be. A defense that reacts or a defense that anticipates. A defense that survives or a defense that dictates. Until something changes, the whispers will continue to grow louder, because every subtle clue points in the same direction. The Eagles may have already shown their hand, and the rest of the league is watching closely, trying to decide if this quiet reveal is the beginning of something special. That's a wrap from FlyEaglesFly News. If you want the fastest Eagles updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Sound off in the comments. Let's talk birds.